You really mustn't look over your shoulder like that so much. Don't play innocent. You know exactly what I'm referring to. I've noticed it happening quite a lot recently. Whenever I ask you to meet with me, you look over your shoulder, and the way that you look, it's as if you suspect that someone will round the corner with a knife pointed in your direction. That isn't going to happen. Nor is your true fear that someone will discover us and realize what exactly we're doing. Please, don't lie. You and I began this with very few rules, but one of the most important ones that we settled on was no lies. There is to be nothing but open, honest communication between the two of us. It guarantees both of our safety and comfort. It guarantees that no matter what, we won't do anything that we don't want to do. And if you start lying to me right now, then this ends. And you know that. Dear, let me stop you right there for just a moment. I was never under the impression that you were ashamed of what we were doing. I was never under the impression that you didn't want people to find out about this simply because it's me you're doing this with. I never doubted for one moment that you didn't mind being with me. I suspect that your fear stems from our differing positions of power in this place. Would that be a correct assumption? You're doing it again. No, you aren't lying. You aren't looking over your shoulder, but you're doing yet another thing that you tend to do when you're avoiding a difficult topic of conversation. And that would be avoiding eye contact with me and pretending to stumble over your words, which, when combined with you actually stumbling over your words, it creates a rather messy sentence that you can't seem to get off your tongue. I know. I know that you don't want to hurt my feelings, but you won't. You can just give me a simple yes or no, a nod or a shake of the head. Yes, just like that. While I certainly never did something like this when I was in your position, I did have my fair share of struggles, as I'm certain you can imagine. You're afraid that you'll lose your job over this, that the position you worked so very hard for will just slip away because of one thing that you just couldn't help. The person that you became involved with. Well, I don't know what it's like to wonder about what it will do to my status losing this job. I do worry about the same thing. I was born into a noble family, and that gave me the advantage of being financially secure. However, when pursuing something of this nature, It meant that very few people took me seriously. They thought, oh, she's buying her way into this. She sees this as just something she needs to do for fun, because little else is exciting for her anymore. They laughed it off as a joke. And you don't have finances to fall back on. Granted, your reputation isn't something so easily shattered, considering, well, it isn't quite as pristine as another person's may be. We risk losing the same thing, but our struggles are entirely different. That being said, because of what we risk losing, I do understand your fear. I do understand that perhaps you have even thought about ending this, whatever this is. Don't try to interrupt me, dear. The last time that you and I tried to have this discussion, it was late at night. You were running your fingers through my hair. I looked you in the eye and I tried so hard to tell you exactly what I was thinking. Then you said that you needed to leave, that there were charts you still hadn't written up, that you would get in a lot of trouble if you stayed and neglected your work. That isn't going to work this time. I know that you aren't needed for quite a while. I know that we can have this conversation, and if this is to continue, it needs to be a conversation that we have. And I don't want you to open your mouth, not until I tell you to. Because you and I both know that you wish to avoid this topic of conversation, and I do understand. This conversation is going to make things so much more complicated, but we promised never to lie. And that is what I intend to do. I intend not to lie to you. And lying to you would mean telling you that I feel nothing for you. Lying to you would be telling you that we should just end it because this fling isn't worth risking our careers over. Lying to you would be calling this a fling. And it isn't. It would be so much easier for both of us if it was. It would be an indulgence that we could avoid. We would certainly miss it once it was gone, but we would find something else to replace it. Our work would truly be more important, and we wouldn't be making a choice. We would say, this has been fun, but my career is more important than a simple pleasure like this. We might shake hands and part ways and never think of it again. We could wander these halls without ever seeing each other, and we would know that we did the right thing. Still complicated, but still easy. If one of us felt something more and the other didn't, it would be so much easier to break things off. We could say, this doesn't work for me. I don't want what you want. I can't give you what you want. You can't give me what I want. It would hurt, but we would part. And eventually we would find what we needed from others. Yet still this isn't the case. Don't speak. You're going to attempt to deny what I've already figured out, and as cute as it is to watch you get flustered by it, I'm tired of hiding it from you. I don't wish to keep this from you. Because let me tell you something. I have learned several very valuable lessons throughout my career, one of which is that no matter what you do, something will always happen to you. Something will always come looking to disturb the peace. Illness, injury, death. In the end, something is always bound to come for us. I lost my husband because of that. And after I lost him, I wasn't thinking about my career. I wasn't thinking about anything but him. When one is faced with death, they aren't thinking about their career. It's true, it's important to a lot of people. It's important to me and to you. There's no shame in that. But no one lies on their deathbed thinking about working more hours, thinking about completing more. They think about lives they could save, in our case. But most prominently, they think about the people who touched them. The people who shaped them into who they are now. If you deny yourself what you long for in this lifetime, you'll begin to wish that death will come for you a lot sooner, I can assure you of that. And I do not want to leave this world with any regrets. I love you. And though you try to deny it, though you try to tell me that you're just being silly, feeling this way, I know that you love me too. I can see it in the way that you look at me. I can feel it in the way that you hold me close. I know with every scrap of my being that you love me. Because I love you, and I know what it looks like. You're frightened. You have to choose between the career that you love and the person that you love. Everyone has different priorities, but I want you to know mine. I want you to be without a doubt about what I feel for you. If the choice is between love and career, I choose you. I pick you. I choose you. I love you. You may think differently. And if that's the case, I wish for you to be honest with me, so that we can both move forward and find what we need. Make your choice, dear. No matter what, I will always love you.